What's up, gang, gang, gang? You already know what it is. It's God King TV. I'm Patai, and I'm on the road driving, so I figure I'll make some videos this way. I know it's gonna be some of y'all in the comments saying, "Yo, turn your screen the other way so it can be full screen. Turn it wide." Man, look, I'm driving, nigga. I don't have my motherfucking my glass mount for my phone, so the couple videos I upload is gonna be looking like this, man. Just taking the message, stop being a goddamn diva, nigga. But so yo, I had a conversation with a friend, and this video is about that conversation in so many words, more about the process, man. Like, so there's a lot of shit going on in the world, and I think this is a great time for healing to be on the forefront of everybody's mind. Just healing in general, right? And what I wanted to talk about was something that I talk about a lot amongst people I'm around in circles and shit, right? So one of the things I want to talk about is you being able to forgive your parents. And it's not even if your parents are bad people or not. You know, some of us have great relationships with our parents, and some of us who may have been through a lot of bullshit, and you may not have the best relationships with your parents, or some of you guys may not even know your parents at all, right? This video is about that, but it's more about how you can utilize this to heal yourself, because trust me, man, the only way that you're going to be able to leave this world and feel like you evolved on some level that is really of a grand nature is when you can leave this world light, when your heart is light as a feather, only through unconditional love and forgiveness and understanding. You really cannot go to levels that you think that you are privy to go if you do not understand. Simple and plain. If you do not understand. So that doesn't mean that you know, just because you understand somebody, you forgive them, that means that they're off the hook. No, what I'm meaning is this. For you guys who may have had issues with your mom or your dad, or you having a hard time forgiving your parents, the best thing you can do is to try to understand why they did what they did. And I mean that in a sense of having these type of conversations with them. I mean, I'm talking about if you are in the position to be able to talk to your mom and dad on that level. Let's say you got an issue with your mom, and you really don't get along with your mom. And what you will understand and realize is this: somewhere, until you are able to heal that traumatic experiences with your mom that's been either passed down to you from her, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a hard time really dealing with women in your life on a domestic level. So that's going to require you to heal. Now, I do astrology, so I talk about it in terms of astrology, because if you got issues with your mom, that means somewhere along the lines you either got moon squares, you got some inharmonious aspects, or your moon is in its detriment, or it makes some inharmonious aspects to where that nurturing that you seek when you was young you didn't get, so it spills over into relationships with women. And that's going to always be there until you start to address it and deal with it. Same way with the father. If you got issues with your dad, until you address it, you can't change nobody. So all you can do is be able to just appreciate an opportunity to heal. But you got to be in that space. So you can't you can't wait for somebody to come and do that for you. You can't wait and say, well, my dad, hey, he ain't never come to reach out to me. He older than me. I feel like he should reach out. It don't happen like that. I'm here to tell you, my nigga, that shit don't happen like that. If you're not able to do the work yourself, it's not going to happen. If you're not able to confront it yourself, not saying that you're going to get over it right away, but you can take those initiatory steps to go to the next level. And it's going to be up to you to do that. Yes, definitely. And in so many words, once we learn to heal those dynamics of our parents, and keep in mind the thing that you're supposed to do about when you dealing with trauma from your parents, or dealing with aspects of your formative years where they was raising you up to be ready for the world, what you learn to do is say, hey, I love my parents, but there's certain aspects of them, because I'm both of them, I'm my mom and my dad. What do I want to discard? What part of my mom and the features and the aspects that I have of her that I don't like? What are some aspects of her that I don't like? And I will want to discard those things because it doesn't do justice for me. It doesn't serve me in my life. It may have worked from her, and she may have got that from her mother and father, but it doesn't work for me. So through this process, consciousness learns to integrate into a progressive pattern where we sift the flaws. We sift through the flaws. That's the way the universe works, you know? And so you figure out what works for you, or what type of patterns and pathologies that doesn't fit you no more, right? Now, you take that same process and you do it with your father, you know? This goes for ladies and men, you know? What characteristics and aspects I do like about my father? What characteristics do I see that are commendable, are some great attributes and virtues to have? And you utilize that. And then you go back and you say, damn, what are some ones that I don't want to have nothing to do with that? Nigga, I'm leaving that shit in the dust. I'm not fucking with that. You my dad, but that's your fucking issues, and that's shit I'm not taking with me. You know, I'm not going to let that be a part of my life. I'm not incorporating that into my psyche, because essentially that's exactly what they are. They're components of your psyche that helps you integrate into this world, you know? And in terms of the archetypes, we're talking about certain aspects of your mother. You know, for if you're a man, your maternal instincts are gonna essentially be a lot about your mom. You know, your maternal instincts are gonna come from that. Your paternal instincts is gonna come from your dad, or those guardian-like figures, protector-like figures in your life, right? Those Saturnian qualities. So, in so many words, we want to be able to look at ourselves and understand that, hey, we are our mother and our father. So, moving forward, you want to be able to have harmonious relationships. Let's say if you do got kids, it is in your best interest to know exactly what type of qualities you want to be able to impute into your child, because genetically they're going to get passed through, and then they're going to get passed through in terms of the formative years that you spend raising them. They're going to see your patterns. They're going to see your pathologies. They're going to see your psyche. They're going to see how you are acting. Now, you may not think right now that this shit is some significant shit, because you're only seeing your child while they're young. And if you're not thinking ahead of time, if you're not thinking so far ahead to know that your child is going to grow up to be an adult, and they're going to also still interface with you, and this is going to hit some of y'all real hard, because you think certain things that you do when you're young or while your kids are young, it doesn't affect them, or they're going to grow past that. But you will be surprised how much sticks with them, because you are their caretaker, you are their caregiver, you are their parent. They see you as a God. They see you as God. And so when your child is young, they don't see you as mom and dad can do no wrong, or mom and dad are human just like me. They see you as infallible. And so you got to know that they idealize you and hold you to high regard. So when they hold you in high regard at those ages, that's a lot of pressure, but it's the right kind of pressure. It's the right kind of pressure. What do I want to impute to my child? What messages do I want to give them consciously and subconsciously? Those type of things are what's going to be going on in your child's mind as they grow. They're going to be thinking about all the shit that you told them, all the shit that you did, all the shit that you didn't do, and that's going to become a part of them. So it's a big deal, you know? And so think about it. You are a product of your mother and father. So there's things that you do because of them. There's certain things you do consciously and subconsciously because of them. But in that process, you can ask yourself, what do I want to eradicate, or what do I want to eliminate from you know, my being that doesn't suit me in this time. You know, there's things that I can always sit back and think about my parents where I say, hey, I love my mom, but this is something that she does that I don't want to do. And I see that it rubs off on me because they're my psychological makeup as well. So I'm going to eradicate this. Or I can say the same thing. Hey, there's certain things my dad do that I don't want to do. So I'm not going to do nothing of that sort. So I'm going to work hard to eliminate these aspects of myself and create new aspects, you know. And that's how you want to do it when you're thinking about just becoming more in tune with who you are, because you're both of them, you know. So I just wanted to drop some game while I'm here because we're both our parents, man, and we have a lot of things within us that we want to heal from. And that helps you become more clear of who you are when you start to realize, like, hey, I'm my mom and my dad, but I'm me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to be a better version of both of them. And so that's just a little tidbit, man. Just something to chop it up about. Like, share, subscribe, man. Tune into the page, man. I got more content coming. I know I've been busy. I got y'all, though. I'm always grinding, so I got you.
I'ma stay touching all kinds of paper.